Test, test. Test, test. Hello, 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 hello. Hi all and welcome, welcome, welcome. I just had a quick issue with headphones, so hopefully this is all, I just need to check this is all going through okay. Um, is this working? Test, test. Good, okay. Excellent. Okay. Hi all and welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Midday Market Review, live trading, key trading levels and trading setups for popular markets. My name is Phil. I'll be your presenter today. Hopefully you can hear me all okay. If you haven't seen this broadcast before, if you're looking for a community of traders, you can check us out on TraderCast.com. If you are maybe a little bit confused with what I'm saying or you need a little bit more guidance, check out mytradingskills.com for the education. Most of our courses are free. Check them out, see how we teach. I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to pick up loads of stuff with these free courses to begin with. Over the past 10 years, I had the privilege of speaking in front of various different industry events, and I taught many people how to trade. So some of them were brand new and some of them were experienced. Now this brings me to a disclaimer. Since I'll be talking about live trades and talking about the market setups here today, this is not the advice. This is what I firmly believe should be almost like a practical application of what we're teaching in the courses, how to apply a price action, trend following, very simplistic approach to trading in real time in live markets. Basically my opinions and experiences, and since I'll be talking to you about some open trades or live trades, or might be even placing a live trade during this broadcast, it shouldn't be considered to be advice because I don't have the indication of your personal investment and trading objectives. Now this brings me to the live trades. For those of you who watched the same session yesterday, you know I was long gold. I had two Dow trades, so they're closed. I was long gold at 1844 and I kept that open as a swing type trade. My initial stops was at 1830. I chose to move my stop loss at break even and get out of this trade because it just wasn't behaving as I was expecting it to, and I thought, okay, I'll check for another setup, but I'm out of this trade now at break even. I'm also long WTI crude. I'm still long crude, but I closed 1/3 of that position at 105. And if you remember yesterday when we were talking about the breakout and then certain areas where the price could possibly consolidate for a while, which was the previous low and kind of horizontal. So I decided to take some profits around 105, so only 1/3 of my position, and I have 2/3 of my position still open and running. And I'll show you all of this a little bit later. I'm also looking to place a counter trend trade in Nasdaq as well. So this is what I'm paying attention to. So this hourly candle here, I was looking for it to be a little bit more bullish, but it's still okay for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go long Nasdaq as well, and I'll go a smaller size than normal because it's a counter trend, but I'll tell you about the reasons why in more detail. But I am just long Nasdaq now as well, so let me just show you. long NSDQ 100, or you might know it as a US Tech at 11,799. So that's the entry. My stop is quite generous. It's about 200 points below. But that's what I am in at the moment. Long Nasdaq. It's counter trend. There's a reason for it. I'll tell you all about it in a second, but that's what I've done right now. Okay, so let me just see, is there anything? Hi all, hi. Are you all okay? Can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? I'm just seeing the community as well. Yeah, that's all working. Okay, so let's talk about these two trades first, Nasdaq, and then subsequently about crude oil, and then I'll talk about a few other things that could be of interest today and things that we should know before we start trading today, because it appears to be quite a decent selling pressure in US equities as well. From Nasdaq point of view, this is a weekly time frame chart, so you're seeing a massive rally and then this corrective move lower. This is my point of interest, this green line, previous swing high, previous swing high, previous swing low. This is a major support at 10,990, call it 11,000. And then resistance is this shaded area here, 12,650. This number 50 represents... Probably can't see it, but from this swing low here from February of 2020 all the way up to this current all-time high, this is a retracement, corrective pullback against this overall prevailing trend, and it comes to about 50% retracement. So it's half of this rally is wiped out with this corrective move. Normally what happens is that people who are looking for an oversold bounce backs, they are looking to react to that level. So cluster of the previous resistance broken becomes support. So that's the reason for it. It's a very speculative entry, but I've decided to take a little nimble and see if I get few points out of this trade. So this is the weekly chart, but I'm placing an intraday trade because the intraday price is coming to a major weekly point of interest. Also from the intraday point of view, so this is the daily time frame, selling pressure, downtrend, 4 hourly also downtrend. This appears to be a bear flag which broke to the downside. 1, 2, 3 touches broken to the downside. From the previous consolidation added at the breakout gives us the same, so symmetrical extension of the previous consolidation here, broken down to another consolidation, extended. So markets like symmetry as well. So I'm not saying that this is definitely a longer term, a buying opportunity and a bullish setup. No, it's not. I'm just stating that I'm going counter trend and I'm willing to potentially pay a couple of 100 points in price. I'll probably get out quicker than 200 point stop loss to see if I can get an oversold bounce back, and that oversold bounce back could possibly look like this: rally from here, breakout, retest, and then a gradual push higher into this zone, and that would make me really happy. I would be ecstatic with that type of outcome. Otherwise, a confirmed loss of this shaded area down here, 11,700, would definitely make me fairly concerned, and I would get out of this position. My stop loss is 200 points below the entry, so my stop loss is at 11,600, so I'm giving it a really decent wide stop, but my mental stop, or the area where I would like to get out, would be around here. So that's where I am with Nasdaq at the moment, and I'll show you that trade straight away. and then we can talk about other stuff as well. Hey Ran, how are you? Yeah, Raj is talking about cryptos, and absolutely, that's definitely showing in the market as well. So here we go. I will show you that trade that I've just done. So there is that Nasdaq trade. It's again counter trend. It's highly speculative, but that's where I am at the moment. So this is Nasdaq in a 5-minute chart. You're seeing this as a coiling price action. There's Nasdaq in 15-minute. Okay, and my decision to get in this trade was based on an hourly candle closing. So coming to a weekly 50% fib retracement, and intraday price is coming to a weekly support. So that's the reason. I'm just saying it could be an oversold bounce back like this, or like this, and I would be more than happy with that. So there is the trade, enter. This is the stop. Stop is currently 200 points below, but my real stop is 100 points below, 11,700. So I'll probably get out manually. And then from the take profit area, cluster of these lows here at 12,130 would likely be a good, at least partial taking profit opportunity, 12,200, and then above that up here, this low, this low, this high, this high, this high, and that gives me a decent risk to reward ratio of almost 3.5 to 1. Happy with that. So I'm going to keep this running. Currently it's showing a very small profit here, and that's all. I'm going to leave it running for now. The other thing that, sorry, I don't know, Raj, if you've seen this, or Ran, or anybody else who is watching. I'll see who else is in at the moment. At the beginning of the session, I've shown you my open trades. So I was long gold at 1844. Initial stop was at 1830. Now that I'm stopped out of that, I got out, I moved my stop at break even, and I got out with nothing. And also I took partial profits in crude at 105. I'll show you all of that in a moment. I still have 2/3 running there as well. So Kay, Rose, Sean, Regal, JFX, Ibrahim, anybody else who is watching us, welcome. Eladio, Sutha, Darren, I can see a few people coming in as well, so that's all fine. Now let me show you where I am with crude oil trade, and then we're going to go and talk about a few other things that could be of interest. Raj and Ran, are you looking at anything yourselves today? Is anything of interest to you guys? So this is the crude trades that I initiated as a swing type trade. The initial stop is now, it was initially below at break even, slightly higher, so my stop is still here around 101.20. I decided to take some partial profits around 105, nice and round number. The price consolidated here for a bit, and I thought, okay, I'll get out at 105, nice and round number. Previous lows here, previous significant high. Let me show you. Previous highs, previous lows. So you have highs here, lows. So I thought, okay, fine, good enough. And I took 1/3 of that position. I still have 2/3 running, and my stop loss is above the entry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my stop loss at this point in time just a little bit higher to 102.20. 102.20 is just below these clusters of the highs. I'm showing you this on the chart because you you might have a different price. Your broker could be showing you a different price, or you could be trading maybe a futures contract with different expiry, and that might have a different price as well. So, but the chart should look fairly similar. So if I'm referring to something on the chart, that's what it is, because I got a question from a couple of members saying, oh, my price is slightly different than the one that you're talking about, and that's the reason why. Okay, now happy with this trade, leaving it on, and I'll update you if I change my mind or if I do anything to this position already. Raj is saying yes, the move between 1836 and 1858 needs to be resolved. Absolutely. So let's talk about gold very quickly here. Let's talk about gold very quickly. This is the gold setup. I was looking at this 1844 level. The reason for that is because it's a significant support. Below that we have 1831. And I was bullish gold. I'm still bullish gold, but I just need to find a different reason to get in, because it just didn't carry on higher as it should. So what would I like to do? Well, I'm still referencing this high up here as the resistance at 1866, so that's definitely a point of interest. What I would like to see is I would like to see a rally from here, from these levels, rally, breakout above here, then retest for a potential push higher. That's what I would like to see. Will I get it? I don't know. Now, the other thing that possibly could happen or could be developing is this flag here. So we have one touch here, second significant touch, third touch. So there is resistance, there is support. This looks like potentially a loss of support. So I don't have a trade, I don't have a trigger in here, because this is the hourly, these are hourly candles. I need to see at least something in maybe 4 hourly, maybe this candle becoming a hammer with a big wick. That might pique my interest again. Something to tell me that potentially bulls are still engaged here and that they might want to at least try to push gold higher. But that's where I am with gold at the moment. Okay, so this is Dow Jones. We are seeing a little bit of an oversold bounce back here in Dow Jones. S&P is also moving higher ahead of the open, and this looks like a fairly significant selling pressure. This is a major resistance, but let's see how this plays out. I was looking for the oversold bounce back yesterday, and if you remember, this current wave of selling was triggered by US inflation, CPI. Oh, crude oil is doing really well. Crude oil is doing really well. There we go, it's pushing higher nicely. It's pushing higher nicely. So we could see that, and we can also see this. And this looks like a little flag breaking out, and they are lovely. They really tend to break out in the direction of the current prevailing trend. This is the hourly, so I'm really happy with that crude trade. I was yesterday, I was happy taking third off as well at 105. That was a good level, I think. So I'm going to leave it running. Silver is this. I was actually looking at silver from CME. This could be of interest, Raj. Silver, we talked about silver as well. So that was a big drop. It's like 3%. Now let's talk about a few things that could be of interest to us ahead of the trading. We have about 7 minutes. 7 minutes ahead of the market opening. Top 5 things we should know. Peak inflation. Inflation is here. Is peak inflation here? That's the question mark. Crypto is volatile, and there are some defaults in China. Slightly higher than forecasted inflation print for April in the US. Treasuries have continued their rally. Traders are probably taking heart from the fact that while analysts misread the tea leaves and 8.3 reading was still milder than what we saw in March, which was 8.5, raising the question of whether the US is past peak inflation. It would be great to get another reading which shows another dip to 8.1 or 8. Then that would be more reassuring, saying maybe Fed might not need to hike as much as initially thought, and that could be seen as bullish for the markets. But anyway, so that's the basic premise. Crypto volatility. Crypto's current bout of volatility, which saw Bitcoin drop as much as 10.5% this morning before recovering, continues amid uncertainty over the fate of stablecoins. Terra, one of the most exotic offerings, has dropped 99.95% from the 1-to-1 peg with the US dollar in the last week. The much more widely used Tether stablecoin, which claims to be backed by actual assets, including the US dollar, has also seen its peg come under pressure. The drop in Bitcoin coming amid a much wider global risk-off move again brings into question the cryptocurrency's function as a hedge against inflation. So that's basically what it is with the cryptos. And defaults in China, COVID lockdowns and inflation fears continue to weigh on Chinese assets. One of the biggest Chinese property companies was forced to renegotiate its obligations due to the record-breaking wave of missed payments. The yuan extended declines as the central bank hinted at further easing. Hong Kong intervened to prop up its currency for the first time since 2019. Meanwhile, China's top political advisory body plans to host a forum next week with some of the nation's largest private sector firms, including Baidu Incorporated, and that will be closely scrutinized. So that's it. That's it from the top 5 things we should know before we start trading today. Wow, my microphone. I was going on a rant. Is this better? Oh God, I was giving you the really important information. I was talking about inflation. I was talking about China default. And I was talking about cryptocurrencies. Sorry. I was sipping on my coffee and I switched off. My fault. My fault. Okay. Okay, well, no, it's me. It's me. It's me. Okay, the other few things that I was just talking about is inflation peaked in US according to some analysts. It came in at 8.3. It's higher reading than what market anticipated, but it's showing a decline from last month, i.e. from March, so that could be seen as positive. So if inflation peaked and then next month we get a lower reading again, that might be bullish for the markets, because they might say Fed might not need to hike as much as they thought. Then crypto volatility, because of that Terra and Tether stable coin, which were pegged to US dollar, they were quite volatile. I think Terra dropped 99.95%, which is like a crazy volatility. And then also the big drop in Bitcoin happened due to the wider global risk of move. And that's basically almost bring into a question cryptocurrencies function as a hedge against inflation. So quite a volatile session there. And then defaults in China. A Chinese biggest Chinese property will need to renegotiate its obligations due to the record-breaking wave of missed payments. And then Hong Kong needed to intervene to prop up its currency for the first time since 2019, and so on. And yuan extended its declines again. So it's the news that we should be aware of ahead of the trading today. So that's basically what I was talking about earlier. Okay, so where are we now? We are literally 1 minute ahead of the US Open. US equities are under some severe pressure. I'll show you Dow Jones very quickly, and this is where we are with Dow. Dow selling pressure, clearly defined downtrending market. Now, we are coming to some fairly significant levels of interest from the weekly point of view. This is just a basic price action. Okay, we are at the open now. We have a consolidation at this area here in the past from January to February of last year, 2021. And that level could possibly be seen as maybe an area for a little bit of a consolidation. Also from the waves, or not Elliott wave kind of technician in any way, but markets like symmetry. So if you take this current wave down, and if we say that's possibly where it might stop, and then you replicate it here, so you have A, B, C, and this kind of retracement normally comes in three waves of selling pressure. So there's one, and then a little bit of retracement, and there's another one. Okay, I'll just remove this. There's a one selling pressure, oversold bounce back, then another selling pressure, oversold bounce back, and a third selling pressure. This is the largest one out of this three. Now it's gonna go up, and this here is combined of these two waves here. So markets like symmetry, so normally A, B, C, down, and so on. So I wouldn't be surprised to see at least a little bit of consolidation, or maybe an oversold, attempted oversold bounce back, at least that much. So this is a daily is downtrending. Major resistance up here, 32,240. This is the 4 hourly, same situation, high, lower high. So if I connect this and create a trend line, I would need a third touch, which could happen up here. That's the resistance at 32,700. We also have this to play with, high, lower high, lower high. That brings us to this resistance here at 32,240, and so on. So that's where we are with the Dow Jones. It looks like a downtrending market. It is a downtrending market. Disciplined traders would be looking for something like this. They would be looking for a rally. I'll color it blue so there is no confusion. And then they're looking for another leg lower. They're looking for a retracement and a sell-off to the downside. So that's what disciplined traders would be looking to do. They're looking to short sell around here somewhere, 32,150, 32,250, in that zone. The bearish scenario would also play out in this way. If we see a selling pressure below these lows, a continuous selling pressure, maybe a little bit of a consolidation, and then that would open the way for another fairly aggressive and volatile leg lower towards 31,100 to the downside. And that's basically where we are with Dow Jones at the moment. Let's see if this happens. I have nothing open in Dow at the moment. My Nasdaq is not doing that well at the moment. Crude oil is. I'm happy with that. So early days yet. So this is Nasdaq. If I see 11,700, I will get out of my trade with a loss. I will get out with a loss of 100 points very, very quickly. I will not hesitate to get out of that trade. It's a smaller size than normal because it's a counter trend trade, but I'm currently making a loss on this trade. This is where the stop is, a hard stop. I have a mental stop around 11,700. So that's where I am with the Nasdaq at the moment. The rest of you guys, oh sorry, Ryan, Euro Sterling looks interesting at the moment, looking for a potential move to the upside, Ran is saying. Yeah, we can definitely check out Euro Sterling as well. It's a slow moving currency pair. It doesn't move too many points as kind of average trading range, but there is that correlation between sterling and then also euro. So Bank of England, European Central Bank, interest rate hikes, economy versus economy. So that's good. Let me see. So you're bullish. Euro against sterling. Are you UK based, Ron? I was just reading a very good report about. It was on Bloomberg earlier on about Boris Johnson's difficulty because one of his promises during the election was that he will lift certain areas of UK and north of UK in particular, and bring them to par with more prosperous south and so on. But it's actually proving to be very difficult. The household spending north is dropping, and it dropped below 2019 levels, which is showing that households do not have disposable incomes. They are basically paying more money to service their mortgages because the Bank of England is hiking rates, and then also higher energy costs and higher food costs and so on, higher services costs, where in South is not as noticeable per household as it is further up north. And then the other thing that was of interest as well was the housing situation in UK as well. So he's finding it probably very difficult because the supporters and people who voted for him, believing that he can make the change, could possibly start questioning those promises. But anyway, that's me. We don't want to talk about that from a kind of political analysis point of view, but from how that might translate to market. So in particular, FTSE UK 100 and sterling dollar, euro sterling. Now this is not working for me, guys. Nasdaq is not working for me. I thought that we could possibly see a little bit of a bounce, but that's not happening. So there's more selling pressure. Wall Street 1% down, Nasdaq 2% down currently. That'll teach you to not to go counter trend, Phil. You keep preaching follow the trend, and then what did you do? You went counter trend. I'm gonna get out of this trade. And I'll see if I can re-enter again when I get the reversals. Here we go. We're still there. Still early days. 15-minute candle. I'm gonna put my stop at 11,700. This is gonna be a losing trade. I'm preparing myself mentally that this is going to be a losing trade. Anyway. Oh, okay, sorry. No, because you were asking for euro sterling, so I thought maybe that's the reason. Ran is saying I'm not UK based, I'm from Netherlands. So yeah, I just thought because of that question. The level is 85.15. 85.15. Let me see if that is doing. Did I get stopped out? Nearly. So euro sterling, sideways consolidation here. Highs, lows. What would I do with this now? By the way, there's a big talk about that new Fed's governor who was appointed. I think is when I was reading that, I think it was Fed governor. Philip Jefferson. Philip Jefferson was appointed as Federal Reserve Governor. He was the third nominee of President Joe Biden to Central Bank Board, and also on Thursday afternoon, which is tomorrow, Senate Democrats expect to vote on basically to confirm Jerome Powell's second term as a Federal Reserve Chairman. Here we go. Jefferson would become just the fourth black man on the Fed's board. He joins amid a fight against inflation. Price increases on everything from rent to groceries are at 40-year high, plaguing consumers and weighing on Biden's approval rating. So according to Bloomberg, that's basically what it is. So new Fed governor. So from going back to the euro sterling, this looks like a sideways consolidation. This could be a shoulder, head and shoulder, especially if you see it in the daily, so shoulder, head and shoulder. This is the neckline of that shoulder, head and shoulder, which is this. And I like those shoulder, head and shoulders. I see them everywhere, to be honest with you. And then if this is a breakout, then retest for potentially another move higher. Yeah, so something like this for another leg higher. The other thing that could be of interest is this area here. So previous swing high, 84.90. 84.90, that's another area of interest. Not sure what to do with it. I don't have anything open, and I'm not looking to have anything open at the moment in euro sterling. But I can see why this could look bullish if it breaks above. If it breaks higher. If it breaks higher. Now, where am I now? Am I stopped out? Yeah, look what happened. Look what happened. Mr. Market picked me up with me stop, and look at this. Could have, should have, would have as a trader. Now, so this is a losing trade. I'll update it. Nasdaq closed. Stop loss at 11,700. Losing trade. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good setup. But anyway, I've opened it live ahead of the or just at the broadcast, and I got stopped out as well. So apologies, guys. It didn't play out. It didn't play out. Robert Bars, how are you, sir? Always good to see you. We haven't seen each other for a very long time, Robert. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is it Ian or Lon? I'm not really sure. Ballen. Welcome. Dow is pushing. Yeah, let's see. This was Nasdaq in my case. Robert Bob Bars, the legend. A legend of Bishopsgate get-togethers at the trading floor there. So lovely to see you, and hopefully you're well. Hopefully you're well. Guys, we are coming fairly close to the end of today's broadcast. It's been a while. It's been a while, my friend. Do you need anything covered? Is anybody looking at anything else? Is anybody looking at anything else of interest? The only... how about Japanese yen, if not too much to ask? Thank you. Yeah, not a problem. Yeah. So the only look at this bastard Nasdaq. Ah, look at it. Okay, that was a good trade. That was a good trade. Mr. Market spooked me and I moved my stop higher and I should have waited. And how many times as a traders you've heard yourself saying I should have, could have, would have. Oh, ion. Okay, sorry. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it okay. Okay. Let me just show you what's happening with my crude oil. That's in the money. I'm leaving that running. So took half, not sorry, 1/3 of my profits around 105. This is where the entry is. The stop is moved higher and moved higher. So my stop is up here. I'm locking about 336 points on this trade. I would like to take profits higher again. So this area up here, this high and then this low around 106.20 would definitely be of interest. So maybe partial profit there and then towards 108, 108.80 as well. So that's where I am with the crude oil, but this is a live trade and I only have 2/3 of that trade running. 1/3 is closed. Not exactly. It was 10 contracts. This is 7, so I closed 3. So not exactly 1/3, but close enough. Okay, so that's where I am with crude oil and leaving that running for now. Now, let me just go and check out Japanese yen. We talked about Japanese yen yesterday as well. And Japanese yen looked like a fairly decent uptrending move triggered by that kind of Fed hawkishness and US dollar strength. So now what's happening here is that we are seeing a US dollar weakening against Japanese yen, and this looked bullish up until 129.80. The fact that this is actually happening now, and if the daily candle closes where it is, this would be quite concerning. So where is the next level of interest? Well, possibly down here at these lows at 127. Below 127 we really have these clusters of the highs and lows at 126.20. Resistance on the upside is now at 128.70. So I don't have anything open in dollar yen. The premise could be that Fed at some point might choose not to carry on with the same speed of rate hikes, and then that could possibly cause a little bit of US dollar to consolidate. But from the price pattern point of view, very difficult. This is the 4-hourly chart. High, high, low, low, low. So we have slightly higher highs and slightly lower lows. This type of pattern is normally referred to as expanding triangle. Some older traders might refer to it as a megaphone because it looks like one. And sometimes you can see them as a topping formation. Sometimes you can see them as a topping formation. I prefer to wait and get a confirmation, because what tends to happen is something like this. So then you see an oversold rally at some point, and if that oversold rally rallies into the neckline of this double top, and then you see a massive selling pressure from that point lower, then this becomes high, higher high, higher high, similar high, low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then this becomes a lower low, and then this becomes lower high, and then you have another lower low. So then that confirms the trend change, and it's a little bit more actionable. So probably the safer area for anybody to engage with dollar yen from the bearish point of view, if we see a rally and a big rejection here, some bearish engulfing here, or maybe a shooting star here, or evening star reversal, or something like that. Otherwise, if we see a breakout above there, something like this, oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that, something like this, then off you go higher. This is nothing than just a sideways, a protracted sideways consolidation. So Ian, I'm not really sure if I'm helping at all. Was it okay? Did you? Is that helping in any way? Okay, we've been on air for quite some time now, so it was lovely talking to you all, guys. Let me just see, is there anything else that needs to be something about so a fun fact. On Nasdaq from Chicago Mercantile Exchange, basically it says here that Nasdaq 100 price declined 2% from its previous close. This has occurred 18 times in the past 12 months. 50%, 9 out of 18 times the price decreased 5 hours later by an average of 85.33 points. The maximum drop in price has been 179.75 points. 9 out of 18 times the price has increased 5 hours later by averaging 105.39 points. The maximum price increase has been 207. So it's 50-50. And if you remember when we started this broadcast, I was telling you about that intraday price reaching weekly key trading level, and I'll just probably finish by that weekly key trading level. So this is the weekly chart for Nasdaq. This is the all-time high. You cannot see this low down here because of my big potato head is in that square. Let me try and move that. So hopefully you can see this low from February of 2020. From that low to this high, this is 50% retracement. So this here is a 50% retracement of this impulsive wave higher. Something usually happens around these levels. Some bearish traders see it as a potentially a take profit area as well. So 50-50 chance. If we see a loss and end of day close below 11,600, then all bets are off. The price will carry on plummeting very, very fast. If we see a little bit of a buying and some dip buying and the price breaks through 11,900, potentially we could see a bit of a oversold bounce back as well. So that's where we are, guys. Hopefully you're finding this informative. Are you enjoying this? Is this okay? Is this what you need? All I'm saying is that this is basically a practical application. I see this as a practical application of what I feel a beginner trader should be able to do. So it's not complicated. There's no complicated strategies here. This is just a basic price action. That's it. It shouldn't be complicated. Okay, so nothing else here, guys. Nothing else to talk about. It was lovely talking to you all. We've been up and running for almost an hour, and some of you are still sticking around, which is a good sign, I suppose so. Normally people on YouTube, 30 seconds later they switch and go somewhere else. Hopefully this is informative for you and you're finding this useful and beneficial. So I hope to see some of you tomorrow at the usual time. I'm starting at 2 o'clock UK time, which is an hour earlier than now, wherever you are in the world. I know some people are watching us from all sorts of different places. So now it's 3 o'clock local time. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock local time I'll be broadcasting again. So hope to see some of you back. If you have any questions, feel free and ask. If you're looking for a community, check out TraderCast. If you're looking for the education, check out My Trading Skills. Stay safe, happy trading, and bye for now. Thank you all for watching. Bye, guys.